Hi guys, thanks for joining me. On this video, we're going to make a quick pair of earrings and they are going to look like the face of the Grinch. I'm going to cut them on my Cricut Joy, but you could easily use your Cricut Explorer Air 2, your Maker, anything that you have that cuts faux leather, you could use that. I'm going to cut the main part of my earring out of this green. I think that's just really cute. I got that off of Amazon in a sample pack. And then the features of the face I'll cut out of this glitter HTV. Now I'm planning to do double-sided, so I have some heat and bond here. To get the heat and bond to stick, I'm going to use my Easy Press Mini, and then I'll use it with the HTV as well. But you could use a bigger Cricut Easy Press or an iron, whatever you use when you're putting HTV on. Then after I get them all cut out, I'll add some hardware. Before I move over to Design Space though, I want to go ahead and prepare my faux leather for cutting. Now the heat and bond is an excellent resource if you're doing much crafting. I tend to use it quite frequently and it is super easy to use. I'm just going to put my Easy Press Mini on low. So I'll push the button once, that'll turn green when it's ready. Then I have my little Cricut Easy Press mat, my other layer of faux leather, and then the heat and bond. On the heat and bond, you have one paper side, and then you have one bumpy side. The bumpy side is the actual adhesive. So I want to place that adhesive side down. And I'm going to trim it just a little bit because this will stick to the mat. I could always put something under it, parchment paper or something like that, but I'll just trim it down right now. Okay, now you don't have to use something like a Teflon sheet over it, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then this will stick to the back side of the faux leather in just a couple seconds. Make sure I get everything covered though. Now the instructions say to go ahead and let it cool all the way down. I let it cool most of the way down. It only takes a few minutes. And then you're going to peel this backing off. Okay, and then that exposes the other side of the adhesive. And it will be very smooth. So then I just want to place the other piece of my faux leather on top. Once again, go ahead and use my trimmed down Teflon sheet. And then this time you're supposed to heat it for about 8 seconds. Okay, that looks good. Now, you would not want to run this through your Joy or your Maker or any machine until this is cooled off some because that adhesive would still be sticky. So go ahead and give this some time to cool down. In the meantime, we'll jump over into Cricut Design Space and I'll show you how I design these. I'm in Cricut Design Space and notice I have 2 windows open. I am on the latest version. I had to update within the last week, 6.0.150, and there is a slick feature in this that I don't think was in the prior versions. You can open 2 windows and then you can copy, so Command C from one project, and then I can go to this screen and I can paste it on there. And I think that's pretty cool. First thing I want to do is go ahead and change these earrings to a green color. Then I need to bring in my Grinch's face. So I'm going to click Upload. The next thing I did was clicked Upload Image. Now I'm going to browse. And this is on my desktop. And there it is right there. So I'll click Open. It's a super simple image. It's just something I found online. So I clicked on Simple, Continue. Then with this select and erase, I can just click anywhere I want the white to go away. And it looks like that did everything except for the eyes. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click continue. And I want to click over here on the cut side since that's what I'm doing. And I'll go ahead and name this Grinch. So the Grinch face went into my images. I just had to click on it and then say insert image. So since the proportions are locked, I can just drag this to make it a lot smaller. Now, even though I want it small, I'd like it to fill up as much of the earring as possible. That'll make cutting it easier as well. That looks pretty cute. I'll go ahead and select both of those. Align, center horizontally. Now, if you've seen my videos where I cut leather earrings, I rarely have the machine cut the hole out. But I have found that this little Cricut Joy cuts superbly. So I'm going to go ahead and have it cut the hole. You can have your machine cut the hole, or you can just punch it yourself with a little leather punch or hole punch. All right, so I want the hole in my earring to be, I think I'll go with 0.08. Sometimes I do 0.08, sometimes 0.07. It just, I guess it's just whatever mood I'm in. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. All right, so I'm going to get it pretty close to the top. I hope that I'm close enough to the top that I can just put a fishhook directly on these without having to use any jump rings. So, well, that might be a little too close. Well, we're going to go for it. So again, I'm just going to select everything, align, and center horizontally. Now, I want to go ahead and have this sliced out of the green. So I'm going to select the circle, hold my command down, select the green. It may look like everything is selected, but you can see over here the Grinch's face is not selected. Since I only have 2 objects selected, I can go ahead and slice. Okay, so you can come over here and just delete that slice layer, and then I'll delete this slice layer. My Grinch's face is still there. It's at the back, so I'm going to select it here. Then I'll say arrange, send to front. Well, the last thing I want to do is go ahead and duplicate. His face looks fairly symmetrical, but not exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and flip one of the earrings. There we go. And when I was centering the face on the earring, that was just for me to see what it looked like, because I'm going to hand place that on after I cut everything out. So let's click Make It. I will be cutting my materials on the mat. So I'll click Done. So we'll jump back over to the overhead view and we'll watch them cut. We're going to go ahead and cut these earrings. You just open the door. I always like to check my blade in whatever machine I'm using to make sure that it's clean. It's so easy, you just drop it back in and then close the little flap. So I have my little Cricut Joy mat. Okay, so I'm just going to lay my material down. I don't have my burnishing wheel or whatever it's called, so I'm just going to lay this over it, really get it stuck down to my mat. On my computer, I selected the green screen, said continue, then browse materials. I'm just going to type in leather, and I get faux leather paper thin. So I'll select that as what I want to cut, and then I'm going to change it from default to more. Since I'm double layering this, I want it to go ahead and use more pressure. So you see the light on my joys flashing? When I slide this in, so far there's a sensor that knows it's there. It'll grab it, it'll suck it in, and it'll just make sure that the mat's aligned. And if you're using smart materials, that you have enough material for your project. So now you click go on your screen and it makes the cut. Now you're prompted to unload your mat. So you click unload and it shoots it out. So let's see how well this cut did. Wonderful. So the Joy will cut faux leather that's been doubled up, at least this faux leather. At some point I'll try some other faux leathers. Now, did it cut my hole? It doesn't look like the hole got cut on the back side. At least not on this one. And then on this one, it looks like it did. Actually, it did. I just couldn't see that it cut all the way through. So that's good news. That's an excellent cut. Okay, let's go ahead and do the face details. With most HTVs or iron-ons, you put it with the shiny side down, and that's the carrier sheet. The side you see is the actual vinyl. So it's just going to cut through the vinyl, but not the carrier sheet. We'll weed away the excess, and we'll be ready to add it to our earring. So I've used the glitter iron-on setting, and I'll be honest, I cut it once, and it didn't seem to cut through well enough, so this time I said to use more pressure. All right, we'll move that out of the way. And I can see their cute little faces through here. And I'm going to go ahead and separate the two faces before I start weeding. And heat transfer vinyl usually weeds really well. These are some tiny, tiny little details. So let's see what we get. You just want to go nice and slowly in case something that should stay down starts to come up. Now, so far it looks really good. All right, I saw something that I thought tried to start to lift up, so I think I'll start pulling from the left side now. Okay, his nose is trying to come up. So let's see what that looks like. Pretty cute. Now, there is a teeny tiny little cut inside the black pieces here that if this were a bigger picture, I would weed out. I don't know that I could get them out. I'm just going to iron them on. I should have contoured that out in the design knowing that was going to be an issue. I just didn't think about it. Now I want to show you the fronts, the backs, and the sides of these. Using that heat and bond to really adhere those together well before they're cut, I think makes all the difference in the world. I've tried to glue them together before using something like an E6000 or a leather glue, and it does a pretty good job. But when they're glued together before you even cut them, I think it does such a better job. So we'll bring our little mini back in. I'm going to set it on low. So I'm just going to look at this from my view. So I make sure I get it set just where I want it. I don't know that you can mess the Grinch up. He's so cute. I'm just going to press this for about 10 seconds. Now, if it starts to come up, I'll just set it right back down and do it some more. No, that stayed down beautifully. I will go ahead and do the whole thing though for about 5 seconds. Super cute. Very, very cute. Okay, does that look pretty much the same? Close enough. It's going to be on the other side of my head. It'll be fine. So again, just for about 10 seconds. Now you want to check and see if what you're using is a hot peel or a cold peel, or can be either, because some vinyls you have to leave the backing on until it's totally cooled off. So make sure and read what the instructions are for your HTV if you're making this project. Yeah, that is adorable. Now you might remember my goal was to have my hole high enough that I didn't have to use a jump ring. So let's see if I succeeded in that. These are some sterling silver fish hooks. I get them off of Amazon. I'll link to these. I like to use sterling silver. They're not that much more expensive, and to me it's worth it. Okay, so the opening to my fish hook is on this side. So with my little needle nose pliers, I'm going to twist this to the side, meaning up, since it's on its side. I don't want to open it this way. Okay, I think that's going to fit perfectly fine. We'll close this back up and we'll see. Okay, looks like I didn't get it quite closed well enough. There we go. Oh yeah, there's plenty room for that to move around. Now here's a little closer look at these. They are so cute. I can't wait to wear these to work. Thanks so much for joining me and sticking around till the end. Until the next video, bye-bye.